Hi, my name is Kim. Good afternoon, and welcome to this afternoon presentation titled Kick It in College. So, what does it mean to kick it in college? Basically, what it means to us here at Miami Dade is that we want you to be successful. So, what does success mean? We want to see you grow. MDC supports you. So to us, being successful in college means that you get to choose a career that you're passionate about and that challenges you as well. So how can we do this together? How can MDC help you choose a career that's right for you, that you're passionate about, and at the same time that you're reaching all of the goals that you've set before yourself? Um, I'm going to move on to our next slide. If you don't know what you want to be when you grow up, it's okay. Congratulations. We joke about this a little bit here at the college because we sometimes we tend to think that students who can admit that they're not sure what they want to do, they might be a little bit further ahead of their peers who have declared either psychology or criminal justice as a major, just as examples, but haven't really researched or thought deeply about what those careers really mean. So if you're still searching for a career or a major, a path that you believe is right for you, for us, that's okay. At the same time, we're going to be telling you, you need to choose something. You definitely need to choose something. So what are some questions that you should ask yourself to determine what it is that you want to study? How about what will the job availability be when I complete my degree? This is important. Also, how long will it take me to complete this degree? And the easiest example that we use of this is that we tend to hear students or see students saying that they want to be a doctor, but they don't understand the length of time that it really takes to become a doctor, to complete this kind of career. That it's not just a bachelor's degree, it's not just a four-year degree, but it involves, after a bachelor's degree, an MCAT. It involves extremely high grades, an extremely high GPA. It involves being extremely involved in student clubs, and then beyond your four-year degree, possibly up to 10 years, including your specialization. Um, Another question that you're going to want to ask yourself is, what will make me happy? You don't want to choose something that is only going to pay you well, or that you have heard that has something that has a reputation for um, making people be successful. You want to make sure that you choose something that truly does make you happy. And also, you need to consider what you're naturally good at. I'll stick with the medicine related example. We see a lot of students who may want to become a doctor, but as I was saying, it takes extremely high GPA, extremely high MCAT scores. Some students are maybe close, but just not quite there, and may need to reassess, what am I naturally good at? What is going to be the best fit for me? Maybe it's not becoming a doctor, but maybe it's becoming a nurse or a physician's assistant. Maybe it's doing something in public health on the preventative side of healthcare. So these are all really important questions to consider. And I would say that there's somewhere in the middle that all of these questions, that the answer to these questions, they kind of merge. There's a sweet spot in the center of where what you're good at, what makes you happy, and what pays well will converge, and those are the things, or that's then the career or the activity that you should focus on, how you can pursue that. So when we start to ask ourselves these questions about how we're going to kick it in college, how we're going to be successful, uh, what are you going to decide that your major is going to be, we would ask ourselves, what do you like, honestly? What do you, if you don't know, you look at a list of what we call majors or careers and none of them jump out at you. Our first activity we would have you do is let's just make a list of all of the things that you like, and be open-minded. Don't put any barriers on yourself because you think that you like something that doesn't match a job that you know of. Just be really open. It's just brainstorming, and make a list of the things that make you happy, that you like. So in one example, a student came and said, well, I like baseball and I also like volunteering at the local homeless shelter. So the advisor's response to this was, okay, well, let's look at this athletic organization in the community that's always hosting community events and doing outreach in the community. let's talk to people who work there. Let's That led to let's research social work. You'll need to know what the difference is between an MSW and an LSW. And the advisor tells the student, no, I'm not going to tell you what the difference is because that would take away your learning experience. Be sure that you talk to Professor so-and-so and connect to another expert and start to create a network. So what the advisor was trying to express to the student in this situation is that we can give you all of the answers as young people searching for what it is you might want to study. We can't, there's no magic answer. And it's going to take research and you doing learning on your own. So we can't tell you this is what an MSW is, this is what an LSW is, the difference is. You want to research those things on your own because through that process of learning, you're going to be able to decide better if it's a fit for you or not. Use your teachers now if you're in high school. Use your teachers now as resources to talk about what they studied, what their path has been like. And the same for when you're in college. Speak to your professor who maybe has that degree that you're thinking about pursuing. And volunteer, connect to experts in the community and start to create your network of people around you, people you know, who can tell you about the experiences they've had in the field that you're interested in going into. And I just realized that I'm sorry I didn't say at the beginning of the presentation that you have a text chat box that if you have any questions along the way to please type in any question you have about anything. Our presentation is focusing on kick it in college, being successful in college, and a lot about careers. But any general college MDC questions, please go ahead and type those into the box. And the next point we want to make about kicking it in college is, oh, I'm missing a slide, I'm sorry. Is the point that I wanted to make is that you have something special and it's called your future. And our parents were right when they tell us that we have to plan for our future. So now is the perfect time to start doing self-exploration. Students who declare a major have a higher graduation rate than those who remain undecided. So it kind of seems obvious. If you have a goal in mind, if you visualized yourself being successful somewhere in the future and what that job looks like, you're more likely to stay determined to reach that goal. So having a goal in mind equals perseverance. So an example that I think of with this is if you know for sure that you want to become a lawyer and you're studying for a test and you're tired and you don't want to study for that test anymore. Maybe it's 1 o'clock in the morning and you're done. But what you need to remember is that this class that you're studying for, that you might be tired this one night, but the class that you're studying for, the grade that will ultimately impact whether or not you might be accepted into law school, it's part of an important piece that's going to get you to your ultimate goal where you want to go. So stay determined to reach your goals because every day that you're studying, that you're passing a test, those are steps to getting you to the place you want to be. And the only time is now. So now is the perfect time for self-exploration. This means don't wait to decide later. Don't tell yourself that, oh, I don't really need to think about what I'm going to major in at this point. It's something I'll figure out next year, next semester. Now is the time for you to really decide what it is that you want to do. And then another service that we offer that will help immensely is something called an IEP, an individualized education plan. So once you've decided on what your major is, you're going to meet with your advisor and we're going to help you map out which classes that you'll take to reach graduation. And this assures that you will graduate at the time that's right for you without taking any classes that you don't need. Another important question to ask is where do you want to work? So I just pulled some interesting pictures that I found online. Picture where is it that you want to work? Do you see yourself working with technology? Do you see yourself in an office? Do you see yourself on a computer? Do you see yourself working with people? Do you see yourself working with plants? Really take time to visualize where it is that you want to work. What does that setting look like? And I think that this is something else when you're forming your goals will help you stay determined when you're having a hard time in a class or a hard time studying for a test, will help you stay determined on reaching those long-term goals. Because if you know you want to study computer science because you want to work for someplace cool like Google and you want to sit on a beanbag chair and do your work and get paid tons of money, if that's your ultimate goal because that's the life that you want for yourself, then you can do it. But in the meantime, you have to study really hard. You might not have to make some sacrifices. It might mean not being able to go out with your friends on the weekends once in a while. But if that's your long-term goal and you know it and you've clearly visualized it, you're going to stay focused on reaching that goal. And these are more pictures that I found that were interesting. And the stories with these, at least the folks that you see on the left of the slide, I think that they have an interesting story. The woman on the top is a founder of her own company. She's also a registered nurse. So she kind of not switched careers, but just made her career, her path even bigger. As a registered nurse, she found that she became a little bit tired of giving people medicine to try and heal them and trying to help people after they had become sick. And she found that she wanted to be more on the preventative side of healthcare. She founded her own company called More Moringa. Moringa is a superfood that's full of vitamins and nutrients and healthy things that helps keep people healthy. So she became into really promoting a healthy lifestyle to keep people healthy in the first place. So she went from being a nurse to an entrepreneur as well as a yoga teacher. So I think that her and her company and the folks that she works with, they're a great example of really reaching your full potential and combining your passions. You may choose one career, but it doesn't mean that you have to give up or not still be involved in things that are important to you as well. Um, some more things to think about as you're deciding on a career path. Be thoughtful of your experiences and take note of the things that make you happy. So this goes back to what I said, is just being really open and honest with yourself and make a list of the things that you enjoy doing, like brainstorming. Also, explore through your class work and make the most of your classes. So when you register for your first semester in college, your second semester in college, don't just take the classes that your best friends were taking. Take a class that really speaks to you, that you really believe that you're interested in, you're going to make the most of. Um, you explore yourself and your interests through your class work. So we think that's an important point. And maybe most importantly about learning things about yourself and your interests are joining extracurricular activities, joining clubs and committees, and forming them. And this includes volunteering, I think, which is essential to deciding what you want to do in the future, to having a better idea of what you want to do in the future. By volunteering and doing extracurricular activities, you really get hands-on and into a better picture of what you think a career or a major or pathway really means, what it's really all about. And some examples of classes that we have here at Miami Dade College are SGA. You probably have this in high school as well. It's the Student Government Association. We also, here at the Hialeah campus, have a literary magazine called Cafe Cultura that's full of beautiful short stories, poetry, photography, art by our students. It's an award-winning product that we're very proud of. So if you're interested in any of those things at any Miami-Dade campus that you go to, you're going to have the opportunity to get involved in activities like this. There's also an honor society called Phi Theta Kappa, PTK. If you have a high GPA, or you can maintain a high GPA, you can become involved in this honor society that also does a lot of work out in the community and is something great to have on your resume. And that will look great when you're applying for scholarships and things like that. Um, Another one is the chess club, Tendai Kaisho, and yes, the yes organization is Youth for Environmental Sustainability. And if you don't see an interest there, a student club that matches your interests, you can start a student club as a Miami Dade College student. So my message to you as students is that I don't even know you, and I know you're going to do great in college as long as you take courses that where the content is speaking to you. So what this means is kind of goes back to we want you to decide what you're passionate about and pick a major that that excites you and challenges you, so that you're really taking classes that are meaningful to you. Also, that you persevere. I used this word before. This means not giving up easy. This means that when you have a bad test, that you didn't maybe get a grade on a test that you thought that you or you thought you were going to do better on a test, that instead of kind of giving up on that class, that you persevere, that you decide, okay, I got a low C on my first chemistry test, but you decide right there and then what you're going to do to turn the grade around. Maybe it's seeing tutors. We have tutors on all of our campuses for various areas, the sciences, writing, math. So we try to create a support network for you here at the college to help you with your goals and to make sure that you can persevere through a bad grade or a bad test, things like that. Other advice: interview your professors or your advisors. Faculty or other professionals are complex and real people, and they haven't all taken straight paths. So I mentioned this before as well. Talk to the people around you and get advice from them. And as long as you can compromise. So this is also kind of what I was saying before, that yes, this math class that you might be taking right now could be painful. But it's a piece that you need to get through in order to get to that job, which ultimately is that life, that career that you dream of. And if you can see this and understand it, then your grades will go up and you will get the grades that you need to be successful and move on to through your freshman year of college, through your sophomore year of college, your junior and senior year. And if you decide to study beyond that, you'll go on beyond that. So let's talk about why college, some practical reasons for going to school. The obvious one is more money. We know that the more education that you have, the higher degree level tends to equate to making more money. You're more likely to be employed if you have a college degree. You're more likely to have job satisfaction if you have a college degree. You're more likely to have a retirement plan. And I know that when I was even just a few years younger, talking about having a retirement plan sounded ridiculous. Like I couldn't, even wrap my brain around thinking about that. But in a few years, you'll realize that this is something that you should start at a very young age. So again, planning for your future starts right now. And getting a college degree is going to help you have these things. More likely to have health insurance, less likely to live in poverty, less likely to be obese, more likely to have children who are school ready, and more likely to give back to the community. So all of these are positive reasons for pursuing a college degree. And this, I know I'm not going to focus on the numbers too much, but in general, you can just see that as education level increases, so does your lifetime earnings. So over the course of one's lifetime, their amount of earnings goes up, directly related to the level of education. So On the lower end of the spectrum, we see someone without a high school diploma, and all the way on the far right of the graph, we see someone who's got a doctoral degree and a professional degree, and those folks are obviously making the most money. So you can see that you're more likely to make more money the higher education level you have. So those people who are focused on money, this is a good motivator. As far as the types of programs that Miami-Dade College offers, there's a variety. Some of our shorter programs are called certificates, and that could take you 1 year or less to complete. Then we have associates in science programs, which generally take 2 to 3 years to complete and prepare you to enter the workforce. We also have an associate's in arts degree, which is probably our most common degree. This is the 2-year program that you complete at Miami-Dade, and it then prepares you to enter into university, to transfer to university to complete your bachelor's degree. And then there's a bachelor's degree, which in general we say is a 4-year degree. And beyond that, there's a master's and doctoral. The last two are not programs that Miami-Dade currently has, but we do have various programs of certificates through bachelor's programs. And I just got a question from a girl, Jennifer, is asking what she needs to do if she wants to become a lawyer. Does Miami-Dade offer this program? In general, yes, you can get your start on your way to becoming a lawyer at Miami-Dade College. We have a major a pathway to a major that is called pre-law. Ultimately, to get into law school, you're going to need to have your bachelor's, and you're going to need to take an exam called the LSAT. So people who want to study or become a lawyer and study law, choose a variety of different things. So you could choose what you want to study as far as a bachelor's degree, what interests you the most. One common major that folks choose is communications, because lawyers need to have really strong communication skills. Another major that people who are wanting to enter into law school choose is psychology, because you need to understand how the mind works, how human behavior works. Another popular major that people who are wanting to apply to law school study is political science, giving you the political governmental aspects. So if you're wanting to apply to law school, you have all the options are available to you and open to you. It's just going to be a matter of getting excellent grades and doing extremely well on that exam called the LSAT, so that when you're applying to law school, you're a competitive candidate for the program. So research your interests now. Again, I was saying that don't make deciding what you want to do or what you want to major in something that you'll figure out later. Understand that these are decisions that you want to make right now. The sooner that you figure out the path that you want to take, the better. The more likely you are to take classes that are speaking to you better, that are a better fit for you, that are going to give you more satisfaction out of your classwork and your college experience in general. So some popular websites that we use are Florida Choices Planner. Another one is the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Florida Choices Planner is specific to Florida, so if you're watching here from Florida, it's a great resource to start out with. It gives you a huge list of careers and a great description of those careers, how much someone in that career gets paid, and again, it's specific to Florida. So if you want to compare what someone in North Florida makes to what someone here in Miami might make, you can see those differences in wages. It also will tell you if this is a career that's growing or declining. And the Bureau of Labor Statistics Occupational Outlook Handbook gives a lot of the same information, an excellent description of a huge list of different careers that are out there, and as well as how much money you can make in those things. And it also, both resources give you an idea of what you need to study to go into the fields that you're researching. And of course, other great resources are the school websites themselves. So the Miami-Dade website, we have a list online of all of our colleges and our degree programs, excuse me, from our certificates up through our bachelor's degrees, and as well as contact information for a lot of those so that you can reach out to someone to learn more information. And I listed FIU as one school there. We have a partnership with FIU as well as all of the public universities in the state of Florida, an articulation agreement that guarantees that when you complete your associates in arts at Miami Dade College, you're going to be guaranteed admission into one of these schools. So if you know that you want your bachelor's degree, but you're still deciding what your bachelor's degree, your four-year degree is going to be in, you might want to look at some university programs so that'll help you decide which classes you'll take while you're here at MDC. So if you find that ultimately the program that you want to be in is in the School of Business at FIU, you'll be able to see which classes they require you to have upon entering into that program. So you would be able to know that here at MDC, for example, you'll take microeconomics, macroeconomics, 2 accounting classes, a computer science class, and you'll get all of those prerequisites done as well as your general classes done at Miami-Dade before you transfer on to the university that you ultimately see yourself at. And then this slide is some examples of how you'll pay for college. So we want all of our students to apply for financial aid to find out if you're eligible to receive financial aid funds. A great opportunity is through financial aid is work study. So a lot of students who are eligible for financial aid decide that they want to do work study, which means they get to work on campus. So we have a lot of part-time student assistants here on campus that get to have the convenience of going to work and school at the same place. So they leave their class and they come straight over to an office to help out and get paid while they're helping, of course, and don't have to worry about getting to work on time or being late because it's all right here on campus. And by working on campus, you create strong relationships with advisors, with people who work here, and with your professors as well. So work study is an excellent option. Loans, the difference between loans and scholarships, I think most folks know. Probably you understand, hopefully you understand, that loans are some means that you have to pay it back. And scholarships are great. It means it's the free money that you don't have to pay back. And the Pell Grant is what we kind of use when we say FAFSA, financial aid, Pell Grant. That's the money that you get from the government to help you pay for school. And now let's talk about getting ready to apply to Miami-Dade, getting ready to become an MDC student. So of course the first step is going to be filling out the application, which you can do online through our homepage. You can also do it if you're in a local high school. You probably have a counselor at your school who has a paper version of an MDC application. You can get that from them. There should be an MDC representative who visits your school regularly. You can talk to this person about filling out the application if you have any questions. Testing. We encourage all students to take your ACT, your SAT, or your PERT exams early and send us those test scores. And financial aid, the right time of year to fill out your financial aid is in the spring. The application will open January 1st, and the preferred deadline is March 15th. So if you're a senior who's graduating in the coming year, make sure that you fill out your FAFSA application between these dates of January 1st and March 15th. And one of your next steps after you've done your MDC application will be to create your MyMDC account. This is so you have a username and password with MDC, and this is how you'll check your MDC student email. And this is important especially in the spring because this is how not only financial aid will communicate with you, but we, MDC, the school ourselves, will communicate with you. And it's going to be really important in the spring because this will be getting close to the time of graduation when you're going to want to know about getting started for your first semester at MDC. And we'll be inviting you to your new student orientation, which is where you meet your assigned advisor and get registered for your first semester of classes. So very important, set up your MDC account as soon as you can and get into the habit of regularly checking your MDC email. And you can set it up. The instructions are online for how you can set this up so that you can get the email on your phone. And seniors, all MDC campuses have a free summer program for graduating seniors. So again, this is something you can see. My contact email, information email, and my phone number are there at the bottom. If this is something you're interested, go ahead and reach out to me. Reach out to the New Student Center at the campus that you're interested in attending for more information on this. And orientation, I mentioned, make sure that you're attending or you're reading your email so that you know when you can attend your orientation. And the sooner you attend your orientation, the sooner you can register for your classes. And this is the end of our presentation. So thank you for tuning in, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.